that functions as a double pump to control blood flow. The heart of an adult male is slightly larger than that of an adult female. On average, a normal adult heart is about the size of a fist and weighs approximately 300 grams, less than 1 pound. The exterior of the heart has a conical shape. The interior of the heart is divided into 4 hollow chambers, enclosed by a layered wall. The heart has a right and a left side, each side with 2 chambers, an atrium and a ventricle. The right and left sides of the heart work in coordination to pump oxygenated blood throughout the body and deoxygenated blood to the lungs. The heart of a healthy adult beats about 60 to 70 times a minute to keep blood constantly moving. Within the thoracic cavity, there is a thin sac known as the pericardium that encloses and protects the heart. The circulatory system is composed of the heart and the blood vasculature, the arteries and the veins. Arteries carry blood away from the heart, and veins carry blood back to the heart. Circulating blood supplies cells throughout the body with oxygen and removes waste carbon dioxide. Oxygen is absorbed into the bloodstream through tiny air sacs in the lungs called alveoli. As oxygen diffuses in, carbon dioxide moves out and is exhaled. Are the basic living units of tissue. The human body is composed of trillions of cells. There are over 200 different cell types. Each specializes to perform essential functions. Bone cells form and regenerate the bones in the body. Nervous system cells send messages within the brain and throughout the body to produce actions. Cells in the blood carry oxygen and help the immune system. Male and female sex cells unite to produce offspring. The genetic information inside each type of cell acts as an instruction manual telling a cell how to function and replicate.
Red blood cells, also called erythrocytes, make up 40 to 45% of blood volume and function to transport oxygen from the lungs to the cells of the body. Red blood cells are produced inside the bones of the skeletal system, particularly in the vertebrae, sternum, ribs, and pectoral and pelvic girdles. Inside the red bone marrow of spongy bone, stem cells known as hemocytoblasts give rise to the different types of blood cells, including red blood cells. During the development process, the hemocytoblast ejects its nucleus, allowing the cell to carry more oxygen to the tissues. Mature red blood cells enter the bloodstream via enlarged capillaries known as sinusoids. Structure system transfers throughout the body. Specialized nervous system cells, neurons, make this messaging possible. At one end of a neuron are dendrites receive a message signal. In the neuron axon, chain reaction to the message synapse. The signal is transferred. For this process, the neuron is polarized. The net positive charge outside the neuron, negative charge inside. As the signal passes along the axon, the memory depolarized and repolarized, passing positive charges in and then back out. The depolarizing signal creates a chain reaction passes in a way along the axon. When the signal axon terminal, change in polarity triggers the release of neurotransmitters from the presynaptic cell. These signals travel across a small space and activate the neuron. They can transfer the signal to tissue like muscle and create cell fragments called platelets or thrombocytes make up about 2% of blood. Platelets stop blood loss from damaged vessels. When a blood vessel tears, platelets at the site adhere to the wall of the vessel to close the tear. The shape of the platelets changes as they liberate the contents of their vesicles. This enables them to connect to one another. Platelets also release chemicals that activate the coagulation system to promote blood clotting. Blood proteins known as clotting factors form fibrin threads. Millions of platelets together with the fibrin threads form a platelet plug. If the tear is small enough, the plug can stop blood loss completely. component of blood is plasma, a yellowish liquid that is 90% water. Plasma carries suspended blood cells and other substances. Nutrients that pass from the digestive system into the body are transported in the blood plasma. These nutrients include glucose, amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and fatty acids. In the plasma of the blood that enters the kidneys are waste products from body tissue. The kidneys process blood by filtering waste products such as urea, uric acid, and creatinine out of the blood plasma and into the urinary system. Plasma also transports electrolytes, components of the immune system, enzymes, and hormones, and it maintains homeostasis by releasing heat.
Soft in the body, injury, multi-step process that begin platelets, torn vessels, work to mesh-like that prevent loss. Inflammation in the area occurs as repair begins in the damaged area. Cells, histamine that dilates blood vessels, increase flow to the head. White blood cells, called neutrophils and macrophages, consume bacteria and remove damaged tissue and debris. As bacteria and dead cells are removed, the proliferative phase of healing begins. Fibroblasts build new tissue by secreting collagen that takes the shape of the original tissue. During remodeling, the final phase of wound healing, the tissue created by the fibroblasts matures and regains normal form. The heart wall is composed of several layers. The three layers of the heart wall are the epicardium, the myocardium, and the endocardium. The outermost layer, or the epicardium, is also known as the visceral pericardium, or the innermost layer of the pericardium. It covers the heart, wraps around the roots of the great blood vessels, and adheres the heart wall to its protective sac. The middle layer is called the myocardium. The myocardium is responsible for the heart's pumping action. Its strong muscle tissue makes powerful, continuous contractions possible. This thick layer performs the bulk of the heart's work. The endocardium is the inner layer of the heart wall, lining the heart's interior structures, the chambers, valves, and papillary muscles. The endocardium is continuous with the lining of the blood vessels that attach to the heart. Together, these three layers of the heart wall aid contraction and relaxation as the heart pumps. The heart has four hollow chambers, the left and right ventricle and the left and right atrium. Each chamber has a different function. The right atrium receives oxygen-depleted blood and empties it into the right ventricle. This blood then flows to the lungs for gas exchange. Oxygenated blood from the lungs enters the left atrium and empties into the left ventricle. From there, it flows out of the heart into the arteries of systemic circulation to distribute oxygen throughout the body. The four heart valves control the flow of blood through the heart by opening and closing the heart chambers in a coordinated sequence. The two valves located between the atria and the ventricles are called the tricuspid and mitral valves. These valves facilitate the flow of blood as it moves into the ventricles from the atria. The other two valves are the aortic and pulmonary semilunar valves. These valves prevent the backflow of blood into the segment it just exited. Each of the four valves is composed of flaps called leaflets or cusps, which prevent backflow of blood in the wrong direction. The heart's conduction system regulates the electrical impulses that make the heart beat. An impulse begins in a bundle of nerve tissue called the sinoatrial or SA node. The impulse makes the atria contract and blood empties into the ventricles. Next, the impulse travels to the atrioventricular or AV node. It passes through the bundle of His, the bundle branches, and the Purkinje fibers. As the impulse reaches the ventricles, it triggers a contraction there, and the heart ejects blood.
With each contraction of the ventricles, blood is pumped out of the heart. Stroke volume is the amount of blood a ventricle pumps out in one contraction. Cardiac output is the volume of blood that each ventricle ejects every minute. To find the cardiac output volume, multiply the number of heartbeats in 1 minute by the stroke volume. At rest, the cardiac output for an average adult male is about 5.25 liters, 4.9 liters for an adult woman. Cardiac output increases with physical activity, rising to a maximum that may be 4 to 7 times greater than the resting output. This difference between resting and maximum output is known as cardiac reserve. Heart rate and stroke volume are regulated by the autonomic nervous system and by hormones in the bloodstream. Other factors such as age, weight, and physical fitness also influence cardiac output.